Look, if you're not happy with where you currently are right now, then you cannot give up on yourself. You see, the people that you look up to and are even envious of are doing the work and have done the work, and that's what you may struggle with. So with that being said, welcome or welcome back at your favorite mental health specialist, our guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, then that means it is not aligned, which means it is not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. For today's video, we're going to go over and discuss how to deal with being motivated, being disciplined, and most importantly, being committed. You can't be consistent if you're not even committed, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you should be aware of. So starting off with the introduction, if you're not where you want to be in life or where you feel like you deserve to be, then you cannot give up on yourself. And it's not cliche. Nothing in life is cliche. Like, this misconception is, oh, it's so cliche, it's cliche. It's not. There are people who are living the life that you want to live. There are places that you want to experience that already exist. And before I get deep into that, you need to be reminded of that. You see, you have desires, you have goals, you have dreams. How do I know? Because you've been whining, you've been crying, and you've been praying, and you've been asking for a sign. How many more signs do you need? Now, that's for you to answer. I'm not here to judge you, but as your favorite mental health specialist on this account, we're here to be vulnerable, we're here to motivate, inform, and educate, which means we're here to be honest and we're here to be accountable. So if you're not ready for that, send and share this video to it. But if you are, you have to be for real. If you're going to be anything, you have to understand that there's nothing wrong with you wanting to change. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to want, but you have to be real about what you are doing and what you're not doing. The people that you look up to, the people who have the house, the cars, the relationships, the bodies, the places you want to experience, once again, they already exist. It's up to you to figure out what you need to do to make it a part of your reality, so therefore you can live it and experience it for yourself. So the second disclaimer is asking yourself, what are you willing to do? You cannot worry about the people and the places and things if you're not taking notes from them, if you're not asking them questions, if you're not willing to learn from them. You cannot be arrogant and egotistical and deny information from people because you feel like, well, who are they to tell me? And that's the same thing with me. If you're not willing to take notes, if you're not asking questions in the comment section, if you're not engaging, you're wasting your time. Learn to be teachable. Everybody doesn't know everything, but people know what they know. On this account, I know what I'm talking about. I know how to heal myself. I know how to love myself. I know how to live the life that I want, and I've been doing that this entire time. Do I know everything? No. So when it comes to specific questions, you may have to ask other people. That's okay. And that's the same thing with you. You know what you know. There's some expertise. There's some experiences that you have that people don't. Get out your ego. Get out your way. If you see people are doing the things that you want to do, you have to be willing to ask questions. With that being said, you also have to ask yourself, what are you capable of and what do you have? You can't worry about what you don't have unless you have a plan and a strategy, or you're able to seek assistance, or you're receiving help and contribution. Worrying about what you don't have, worrying about what's in your control is not changing where you are. You need to be practical. You don't need to be delusional, and that's a different video within itself. You need to be practical about what you're able to do out of the 24 hours that you've been given with the resources that you have, regardless if you feel like it's enough or that you should have more. And that's going to be the third disclaimer. Stop comparing yourself. You don't know what these people did to get to where they are, but I'm telling you from experience, they have help and they're doing the work. You may not have the same finances. You may not have the same resources. Yes, we all have 24 hours. Everyone's 24 hours doesn't look the same. Your goals are for you. How you get there and what you had to do may not be the same. Some people take the escalators, some people take the elevator, some people take the stairs. You have to figure out what's your form of transportation. Some people take a bus, some people have to walk, some people have Uber, some people have Rolls Royces. You can't be looking at other people if you're not able to realize what they're doing without you being envious or bitter. You have to be honest about what you can do. So the fourth disclaimer is allowing yourself to feel the emotions and to validate how you feel and to be honest with yourself. This is what this account is for: healing, motivating, informing, and educating. You have to be honest. You may feel frustrated because you have to take a bus and you see people having chauffeurs. You may feel overwhelmed because you may have to work 2 jobs, and some people may have their parents financing and funding their lifestyle. That's not your reality. It's a confirmation to show you that it's a possibility, but at the end of the day, you seeing other people do the things that you want to do is just confirmation and a reminder. It's still up to you. So if you have to catch a bus to get to where you need to be until you're able to buy your first car, you can't be embarrassed or ashamed. If you have to walk to work before you're able to afford an Uber, that's what you have to do. If you have to sleep on someone's couch before you're able to buy your own place, you can't be embarrassed. And that's going to be the 5th thing. You have to stand on what it is that you believe in order for you to receive the things that you want before we even get into the recommendations. And what has helped me along my healing journey was to not give a single flying F-U-C-K when it comes to people and places and things who I personally knew weren't doing the things that I wanted to do, who are not on my vision board, who are not contributing into my life, and who are not where I want to be. And even if people have more than you, quote unquote, materialistically or whatever it is, they're not better than you. Because if they were better than you, they would be helping you. So when you have people who are willing to help you, when you have people that are willing to show up for you, be grateful, be thankful, and be receptive of that energy. Because they're not always going to be there, like myself. This is why I make these videos for free. So for those of you who have been engaging, liking, and asking questions, you're always appreciated. If not, send and share this video to somebody who is, because at the end of the day, people are going to watch the videos. People are going to listen to what I have to say because I listen to what I have to say. And if they don't, it's not for you. And you have to realize that everything and everyone's not for you. So if people are not wanting to help you, if people want to talk about you, leave it alone. We don't even have time to be worried about that. So when it comes to the recommendations of you staying motivated and you continuing to show up and you doing the work, you need to understand when you're doing work and when you have rest. You need to make a realistic schedule. You need to be honest about how much time, how much energy you're able to contribute into your goals and what it is you need to do. If you're new here, I recommend that you check out the 30-day consistency playlist channel that I have. It is over, I think, 20 to 30 videos where I'm breaking down step by step. For those of you who've been asking and crying and wanting to sign and may not have all the resources for free on how to do certain things and when to do it. Because when it comes to our goals, regardless of how big or how small or how long it's going to take, you need structure, you need order. And a lot of times you may not have, like I said, the resources, you may not have the finances, you may not have the education, and you may not have a mentor. So for those of you who are here and your notifications on, that's all I'm asking you, so to like and engage, okay? Because I need to know like what videos I need to know what you need to work on. I'm here to help you. You help me, okay? This is a teamwork, make a dream work. I'm not here just to finesse or manipulate or control or use people. I don't need to do that. But you are here because you've been crying and whining and feeling like you want to give up. And giving up is not an option. Like I said, my content is only for a strong group of people, internally and externally. So if that's not you, send and share this video to somebody who needs to see it. Because at the end of the day, we get what we want because we're putting in the work. So once you watch those playlists, and you are able to be honest about the time and your schedule and working on yourself, the second thing you need to do is know when you need to rest. They're going to have days and you're going to have moments where you're not going to be able to do a training task in a day. I don't believe in overexerting yourself, over-explaining yourself, or overworking yourself. Because when you're constantly overworking yourself, eventually you're going to crash, you're going to collapse. And then you're going to feel like, I don't ever want to get back up again. The goal is to learn how to pace yourself. And like I said, be practical about what you're able to do so you don't burn yourself out. So for example, if you're building a house, which I use as an analogy a lot of times, building a house may take a year, it may take 2 years, it may take 5 years. You have to be okay with how many days, how many weeks, how many hours, and what you can do without wearing and stressing yourself down. Because when you overwork yourself too, a lot of times, a lot of you lot end up becoming stressed and feeling overwhelmed. And that's when you get anxiety. And then that's when you spiral. And that's when you get physical pains, heart attacks, strokes, and etc. We don't need to do that. Your mental health is connected to your physical health and just life in general. That's a different topic within itself. So you need to have moments, when you rest, You need to have moments when you are having fun. You don't have to be overly attached to your goals, and that's going to be a part of the other recommendations in a separate video. But it's like you need to focus on what you're able to do daily, the certain habits, because it's going to take time. If you have a goal, like I said, to build a house, what house you know is built in a day? If you have a goal to become a millionaire, unless you've done it before, if it's your first time making $1 million, it's going to take you some time, unless, like I said, you have the resources and the tools and etc. Because a lot of you may not have all those resources and tools and etc. Because if you did, you could still be watching these videos, but you wouldn't be complaining. And that's also going to be another recommendation. If you want to lose weight, if let's just say you weigh 300 pounds today, but you want to lose 100 pounds, do you feel like you're going to lose 100 pounds in a day? Even if you got surgery and whatever that shot is called, I don't know what it's called. I think Ozempic. I don't know, you guys. I don't take Ozempic, so I don't know. But like, and educate me if you know what I'm talking about. Even if you got a shot, even if you got surgery, you still have to recover. And that's what I need you to understand. Like, certain things require a certain amount of time. And that's going to be the fourth recommendation. Control what you have control over. You have to learn how to be patient. You have to learn how to stop rushing yourself. You have to learn how to stop comparing yourself. You're one person. You have to learn how to relax. You have to pace yourself, because what you're wanting is not difficult and challenging or even hard. It's maintaining it. So like, once you lose weight, you don't just want to lose weight. You don't want to spend, let's just say it takes you 2 months to lose weight just to gain all the weight back in a day or within a year. You have to be able to maintain it. Once you build your house, you want to be able to keep your house, which means you're going to have to pay a mortgage, which means you're going to have to pay for your water, which means you're going to have to decorate your house, which means you're going to have to keep your electricity and cable on. You're going to have to HOA fees. You're going to have to keep your house, grass and things nicely groomed. Once you have a goal to get a car, you're gonna have to put gas in your car, or even if you have an electric car, you're gonna have to charge your car. Like, it's certain maintenances, okay? What we want is a lifestyle, and that's what nobody's gonna tell you about becoming the best version of yourself and becoming successful. It's a lifestyle, so you have to be able to create certain habits. So lastly, when you feel like giving up, pause. Stop what you're doing. That's like, for those of you who grew up in America, whenever there's a fire, what are you supposed to do? You stop, you drop, and you roll. That's going to be the same thing, other than you don't need to roll. You're going to stop, drop what you're doing, and I need you to take a moment to yourself and either sigh, breathe in, breathe out, or rest and allow yourself to calm down, regulate your nervous system, regulate your emotions. And when you are done feeling overwhelmed, when you're done being angry or frustrated, whatever feeling that you're feeling, when you're allowing yourself to feel, then you could pick it up. If you feel like you've been working hard and you don't feel like doing it, and you've been doing the work, reward yourself. It is so important to reward yourself, and most importantly, keep track of what you're doing. So if you've been working out for 3 weeks consistently, treat yourself. If you've been running miles and you have a day where you've been putting in the work but you don't feel like it, maybe you're sick or maybe you're just overwhelmed because it's a lot of work that you do have to put in, take a day off. And then, of course, when you have the energy, when you have the effort, get back on track. Don't take breaks. Don't rest, and don't reward yourself if you're not doing anything, because then you'll get back into procrastinating. And you're not lazy. A lot of times when you are doing things alone, when you're already dealing with trials and tribulations and trauma and healing, it is a lot to unpack. So before I have to end off the video, as you are showing up, you need to make sure that you have community. So if you don't have people who are doing the things that you're doing, don't listen to them. If you don't have people showing you examples, don't watch them. Do not engage. Don't follow them. It is that serious. It is that important. What has helped me along my healing journey was to realize a lot of people that I've outgrown were not helping me, did not help themselves, and were not going to be a part of my future. So I did not listen to them. I did not care about them talking about me. And even now, as I'm continuing to put myself in front of millions and trillions of people, I don't care about any negative comment. I don't care about people talking about how I look. I don't care about people talking about where I live. I don't care about people talking about my situations, because at the end of the day, I'm having to do this in real time. So unless you're me, unless you've gone through what I went through and you could do what I do and show up publicly in front of millions of trillions of people, what you think has nothing to do with me, and you're not even in alignment with me. And you need to realize that if people are not in alignment with who you're trying to be and what you're trying to do, let the delusion be an illusion, okay? Take breaks, know your limits, know what you can do, but don't give up on yourself. If you're not where you need to be, you still have work to do. You could be sad, you could feel frustrated. It's so recommended, like I said, you watch the 30-day consistency playlist, because that's going to help you understand, as well as any other questions and comments, concerns when it comes to your healing journey, because it takes a certain type of person. Not everyone is accomplishing their goals, and that's another reason why you don't need to listen to people talk about you or judge you. Let the peanut gallery be in a peanut gallery. I'm telling you from experience, none of the people who had anything to say about me are here right now and are going to be here when I need to be, when I get to where I need to be. And that's the same thing with you. Outgrow the people you're meant to outgrow. Rest when you need to rest. Take breaks. And like I said, just be mindful of what you're able to do. If it's only 24 hours in a day and you only have, let's just say, 4 hours to yourself, when you don't have to work or you don't have a schedule, because you know what you do. You know what you're dealing with. And you know, like I said, you have, let's just say, 4 hours to yourself. Take maybe 2 hours or an hour and 30 minutes or even 30 minutes just for yourself to do the things that you need to do, and schedule another 2 hours or another 30 minutes to just enjoy yourself. Like, when you're overly attached to the things that you want, that's when you start to suffocate it and you start to doubt yourself and you feel like what you're doing is not working, when that's not true. Like, once again, you have to realize you're creating a lifestyle which requires you to have certain habits. So whatever questions, comments, concerns that resonate with you and resonate with this video, let me know what you need to work on. If you need the service in a session and you need like an intimate vibe, click the link. Make sure you are booking your service in your session through my website. But if you want me to talk about this in real time, drop the word live, and on my Instagram and on TikTok, I'll go over and discuss this. But if you want a part 2, or you just want to chit chat, get to know me, get to know you, make sure you're liking, commenting, engaging. But I love you. You are loved. You're not alone. Thanks for watching. Peace.